Are we done yet? No, seriously, are we done yet? Are we done being tribalistic? Are we done fighting each other over some culture war? I feel as though a lot has changed over the years, especially in our society, where we are lacking in community and in integrity. There were certain things that you should and should not do, unspoken rules that was agreed upon by everybody for the most part, at least in a civil society. But we refuse to continue on with these dignities that we gave to each other, both in life and death. It used to be a time where we respected the dead, where we respected people's integrity, people's indomitable spirit, people's efforts to make a change. And there's a time where intelligence, civility, and, humanity won through against prejudice, hate, and vile actions of villains. I heard recently in the news that Charlie Kirk has passed away. If you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he is a right wing, commentator, political, I guess, activist, you can say, that goes around and have debates and discussions with people and sometimes students. And at one of these debates and rallies and places where he, went to talk to students, he was shot and killed, leaving behind a wife and children. And full disclosure, I really wasn't too familiar with Charlie Kirk. I heard about him. How can you not really hear about these people when you frequent certain parts of YouTube, especially with political YouTube? You hear about them. I had no feelings towards the man one way or the other because I didn't know much about him. But what I'm seeing right now that is transpiring is honestly sickening and honestly annoying on all sides, mind you. To continue my full disclosure, I am an independent. I am a moderate. I do not subscribe to everything that the right has said or does or think. I don't subscribe to everything that the left has said or done or think. I'm an independent. I think everybody in this country should be a moderate and independent because it was a mistake to have a two-party system. George Washington himself said he did not want a two-party system, but due to the negligence of his predecessors and just basically just the laziness of them, because it's way more easier to divide votes between two parties instead of three. I think that this resulted into what we have today. Political division and infighting. Politics has become the new Crips and Bloods, the new gang. It's a blood sport now. And people chose to ignore it, which resulted in the ending of another's life. Probably the ending of multiple people's lives. Instead of championing balance, peace, civility, we champion us versus them. And that's what I would like to talk about a little bit today. That's where some of my disgust come from. Where the left is celebrating, some of them, not all of them, because that's a fallacy. And it's a fallacy that many people fall into, especially grifters or those who are politically captured. Some of the left, is celebrating the death of this man. And the right is basically stoking the flames of hatred towards the left, as opposed to calling for civility, calling for peace, calling for, hey, we should use our words, not guns, not weapons, not violence. Words are not violence. But instead, they get in their feelings, something that they accuse the left of doing, and stoke hatred. And I think this is not the way. I think civility is the way. Civility amongst violence is how you really enact proper change. Because violence without civility will just beget more violence. I'm just highly disappointed in what the culture war has resulted in. It is sad that people can't respect the dead. People will talk shit about the people who died in that submarine as a joke, which I never understood. They were people. They had left behind families, and their family members had to see these disgusting people talk shit about their loved ones. Same with Black Death. It is a common trend among, right-wing conservatives and grifters alike to mock the death of black people, justly or unjustly. At least in their eyes. I think most of the things that they mock are unjust, but that's me. And then turn around and get mad when people are mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. I do not condone what those people are doing, but at the same time, the people who cry, "Oh my God, how can you say this about Charlie Kirk? You're a monster, da da da," are the same people that would mock, George Floyd or Tamir Rice or, any of them as a joke, as an edgy joke to rub it in the face of black people. Because it has become trendy to hate black people because of black fatigue. I will get into that matter a little bit later. Not in this video, though. This is not the time for that. I am very saddened by the state of my country. I'm very saddened by the state of my people. We are supposed to be civil. We're supposed to be civilians. We're supposed to champion thought, words over violence. And yet here we are pushing more hate. Instead of condemning the shooter themselves, whoever they may be, you are condemning a whole group of people and trying to stoke hatred towards those people. Tribalism will be the death of America. Tribalism will be the death of most societies, especially in these day and age, as technology gets better and the algorithm gets better and certain people who want to retain their power learn how to manipulate us better. It's just going to get worse. I come here today to call for a truce, to call for civility, and to call for you to use your mind as individuals to challenge not only yourself, but your parties and maybe even some of your political beliefs a little bit. To come to the table of ideas and, actually talk it out. Before I realized that Crowder was a bitch, that's what I liked about him. I liked that he went to the schools and actually talked to the people. That's the only thing I liked about him. And that's what I like about Charlie Kirk. He went to the schools and tried to talk to people. And he believed in change through discussion and discourse. And I call for that. In his memory, we should debate, challenge each other, challenge ourselves, our perspectives. For the internet was born to connect us with each other, but ultimately became a tool of division and derision. All I have to say is, for the rest, all I gotta say is this, is that I really, really am praying for Charlie Kirk's family, because loss is hard. I am currently dealing with loss. And I continue to deal with loss. I've been dealing with loss all my life. And I do not take death lightly. God bless Charlie Kirk. God bless his family. And God bless America.